What is up, everybody? Welcome back, or welcome to Optimal Self Live. Probably my favorite statement each and every day. And so those of you welcome back, well, you've been here before, so welcome back. Thank you. As always, your time is so precious, and I am extremely grateful that you will spend it with me. And the welcome to is for those of you that it's the first time. If it is, well, welcome to Optimal Self Live. These are just little 5, 7, 8, 10-minute conversations just to really plant seeds so that we can all get on the journey of being the best version of ourselves, to really try to right our mind, to right our ship per se, right? So that we can start to become our optimal self, right? You guys understand that every day, I think the number's something crazy. We have like 60 or 70,000 independent thoughts. And we also, that 60% of those are negative. Those are thoughts that are coming in at all different angles and all different things. And you know, the truth is, sometimes we have days in our life that challenge us. They have moments in our lives that put us up against things that we have to emotionally deal with, physically deal with, and mentally deal with. And so the question is, how do we actually get through it so that that time, that moment that has challenged us or angered us or whatever the word is, made us feel insignificant or insecure or whatever the thing is that has happened to you. But now, how do we dig inside of ourselves to right that ship so that it doesn't ruin my day, so that it doesn't ruin the rest of my day if it happened in the morning, or if at night going to bed, how do I get rid of it? Well, as you're going through your day, like I said, we talk about these different words, these different things that need to happen, but we need to right the ship immediately. And sometimes that goes with our entire life. Sometimes that's with our business. And sometimes it is just in an instant. But what I want to talk to you about today, what I want you guys to hear from me today or through Optimal Self, is that we've got to be able to make that shift, and we got to make it quick. Sometimes it's in a conversation. Sometimes I got to get into my own head. Sometimes I have to maybe change my environment completely. I've got to get out of that environment. I've got to get away from that and actually get to a more conducive environment that will help me so that I can grow, so that I can have a better way, a better life, and live to my optimal self. Well, today I'm going to bring up a word, and I want to talk deeply about it, is adapt. And so when you look it up, it says to change or to change something to suit different conditions or uses. Think about that for a second. How powerful is your ability to adapt? To adapt to a conversation, to adapt to a feeling, to adapt to a situation? Because if you can change, meaning if I have a negative thought, or if I have an emotional response to something that's not fueling me to be the best me, to be the best version of myself, I have to be able to adapt very quickly. Why? Because it needs to suit different conditions. I need to adapt to what it is I want. I need to focus in on what my goal is. I need to focus in on who I want to be. How do I want to show up in the world? Because no matter what, you're going to get influences from all over. You're going to get challenged by instances and people, right? We're all challenged now with the State of the Union, right? A few months ago, you all got challenged with a stay-at-home order, and things are still coming back in news and all this stuff that happens. And how fast do you adapt? How quickly, right, can I change to suit different conditions? But mostly what I need to do is change to suit the conditions to better my life, to better what I want. Because your goals matter. Your life matters, right? And I want to read something to you that I read earlier. And I didn't want to write it in. I wanted to read it to you. And it says, the greatest stretching seasons of life come when we do what we have never done. We push ourselves harder and reach in a way that is uncomfortable to us. So in other words, sometimes that thing happens or that moment happens. And what do we have to do? We've got to push harder, right? Because, and even stepping out of that instance, from that relationship or from that job, is uncomfortable. And it doesn't mean you go away from it forever, but it means you have to challenge yourself, and it has to be uncomfortable. That's where the greatest stretching comes from, right? And I did write in the notes today is that George Eliot said, it's never too late to be what you might have been. Think about that. What is it that you've wanted to be? Who is it that you've wanted to be? And what is holding you back? Can you challenge yourself? Can you push harder? Can you adapt to that next level of your life? Can you change to suit a different condition? Because that new condition is that new level of your life. It's that next level of who you are and who you want to be. And are you ready to adapt and become that person? Right? We've talked about this many times. The goals, when you set goals and when you say, oh, this is what I want, it's not always about what you want. It's not always about hitting that number or hitting that goal. It's about who you become in the process. It's about who you adapt to be, to change to that different condition so that you can live the life of your dreams. You can live your optimal self. That's what it's about. You getting on that journey to the best version of you. You being ready to adapt to any situation. Challenging yourself to ask bigger questions. Challenging yourself to do the hard things. To get uncomfortable. Because guess what? You're going to adapt. Think about it. When you were a child, when you were born, you couldn't even hold your head up. Every single skill, single thing in your life, you have had to learn and adapt to. Everything. Which means that you can have anything if you're prepared, if you're willing to learn, grow, and adapt. You've done it your whole life. As humans, we are genetically designed to do just that. We are genetically designed to adapt to any environment. Think about it. There's people in all these other countries right now that don't have what you have, right? I tell people the story all the time when we had these two Cuban kids, young kids, 18 years old. They defected when I was playing with the Arizona Diamondbacks, and we signed these two kids. And I remember the first month that they were here, like they had never had ice cream. Do you know the first couple of weeks they were here, they were sick because they don't have all that processed food. These guys were living off the land. They had to literally catch dinner. They were out shooting birds and catching animals, and that's what they ate. That's what they ate for dinner. And they got over here, right? And they could go to McDonald's, which they thought was wonderful, and it made them sick. But eventually, guess what happened? They adapted. Their bodies adapted, right? You know how they adapted? One of them gained like 40 pounds in the first 6 months he was here, or less, 3 months that he was here. And that's a cool story, and it's a funny story, but the truth is, and that's how it is. Your body, the human body is genetically designed to adapt. But so's the mind. And it's the most powerful tool you have. So let's challenge ourselves to get to that next level of our life and don't worry if you don't know how. Don't worry. Guess what? The skills can be learned, and you will adapt, and you will grow, and you will become that person. So here's your action item for today, right? Here's your action item. Make sure that you set out, put a goal. Let's pick something that you want, whatever that is. Even if it's just one of the principle number one in optimal self is hydration. Just pick that. Say, all right, I'm going to hydrate every morning, and make that your goal. And guess what? Your body and your mind and your behavior will start to adapt to that, because that's the goal. Every morning, I'm going to drink 16 ounces of the hydration cocktail. I'm going to drink Himalayan sea salt with some lemon and some water every morning so I can start my mind. I can jumpstart every organ in my body so that I can live to my optimal self, that I can have great days. I don't care what it is, but your action item today is pick something to focus on. Pick a goal, and let's challenge ourselves to adapt and become whatever that needs to be to reach that goal, because it's all about you and who you become in the process. And guess what? I believe in you. I really, truly do. And I love doing these, and I love seeing it all. So please, like, comment, share, whatever it takes, because we've got to get the message out. We've got to start helping people. People are struggling like crazy right now. Somebody in your life right this second is struggling. Just send it over to them. Tell them to give it a listen, and let's see if we can't help them, because I don't know those people. You do, and it's your turn to pay it forward. It's our job to help one another. I'll keep showing up here, and you help us by telling them all about it. All right? So let's go. Set your goal and adapt and become the person that makes that happen. All right? Listen, we are 2 days away. You see it? It should be scrolling right here on the bottom. Membership is rolling out 7/1. If you're in, so get over, make sure, because at 7/1, it ends. I'm just warning you. It is going to end on 7/1. So get over, just pre-register. There's no cost. It takes you a couple little clicks, a couple little pushes on your computer, and you're in. And you are going to get everything, and we're going to work together on the back end, all of us, right? Well, truly, that's not true. The first 100 get it. The first 100, that's what we're doing. So I know that these guys are crazy. The guys behind the scenes are like, Jeremy, you're absolutely losing your mind. But guess what? That's what I want to do. That's how I want to do it. And so please jump on over to optimalself.today and get yourself registered, because I want to work with you on this. All right? Have some fun. And as always, well, let me tell you this. The podcasts are going live. So wherever you watch, wherever you listen to podcasts, and if you don't, just go in iTunes, Stitcher, Spotify, whatever it is, and please subscribe. And I would love, 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 love if you would leave a comment. I would love, love, love if you would leave a review, right? They're all coming out. They're coming out fast and furious. And I hope you give it a listen. And I look forward to seeing you in the membership site. All right? And as always, see you tomorrow.